always someone to fill my cup. For those that I've done wrong, for those that I've known for oh so long, I'll always hold a place in my heart for you.
So just tell people about who you are, introduce yourself to the audience, and then we'll just take it from there.
Well, my name is Dr. Lulu. I go by AKA the Momatrician because I'm a mom and I'm a pediatrician. I was born in Nigeria. I'm a mother of 3. I recently retired as a physician. And right now, a 4-time best-selling author, TEDx speaker, United Nations speaker, TV personality, talk show host, podcaster, and all-around it girl.
I love that. Now, where are you from?
Nigeria. I was born in Nigeria.
No, not Nigeria. Where are you at right now? I know you said.
Oh, I live in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay. And that's where we was talking earlier. You was talking about your nonprofit. Tell people about
Yeah, I came to San Antonio because of the Air Force. I was actually a lieutenant colonel and commander in the U.S. Air Force. And I separated after my 4 years was done. And then I just decided to, like I like to say, my memoir is called From Heels to Boots and Back. So I went back to my heels. But I live in San Antonio, and my kids, I'm down to one child now. One is a senior in college and one is a grad student. And just chilling with the baby, and that's it. Amongst the things that I want to do is also have a nonprofit, because I as a life coach, which I am right now, I just got certified this year in May. As a life coach, I do general life coaching, but then I like to focus on parents because I'm a parent, but also because I'm a pediatrician. And then in particular, parents of LGBTQ plus kids who are struggling with acceptance of their child, maybe, but more importantly, support for themselves and then support for their kids. A lot of people still come to me with their child, and it takes everything in my power to say no to a child, because I just don't want to do that anymore. At one point, you have to just give yourself permission to do what you want to do. And so I don't want to see kids anymore. I've seen kids for 30 years. I want to talk to their parents, because most LGBTQ plus kids, whether you like it or not, the kids are okay. The toxicity is around them. And sadly, the most important person in their life is their parents. So most kids will tell you that they just want their parents to love them and see them and just respect, honor, preserve all of that of them. And their friends count, their teachers count and all that, but still the very first and most important person is their parent. So because of the high rate of suicide amongst these kids, I have to look at who is the nearest person to them. Not because you're the cause of the child dying per se, but you might inadvertently contribute to it. If you're not accepting of the child, the truth is we have to call a thing. I'm not afraid to say that you, as a parent, might inadvertently contribute to your child's suicide, because you might not know, because you might be making it about you. What are my friends going to say? What's the church going to say? Yeah. What's my mama going to say? Yeah. And while you're busy doing all that, your child is not being seen. Your child is not being heard. The child is sinking deeper and deeper into depression or whatever. And you're busy, maybe like the lady on the Clubhouse the other day was cussing out her child for being wayward because the child was living a life on the streets. I'm like, what? Did you ask yourself how that child got there? Let's face it, every child was born weighing 6 to 8 pounds and innocent. Yes. And then life happens to them. So we cannot pretend on this side that we're so holy, because no one is holy. Right. No one is going to leave this earth alive. No one has been to heaven and seen that it's full of Christians. No one has been to hell and seen that it's full of gays. No one. In the meantime, you've been given 2 commandments, and he made it 2 for a reason. Love your God and then your neighbor. He didn't qualify you're Jewish. He didn't say you're Asian. He didn't say you're African. He didn't say your Christian neighbor. He said your neighbor, because he knew that we as humans are messy. We're going to other people. We want to other them. Well, you're not black enough. Your hair is no longer whatever. We are the ones that insert mess into spirituality.
Right. Yes.
Religion, I think, is man-made, as you know, is man-made.
Yes.
That's why it's full of inconsistencies and holes. Religion is man-made.
Yes.
Spirituality, on the other hand, is not. None of my great-grandparents, none of my grandparents, none of them was a Christian. My dad is where Christianity started. My dad, me. My grandfather was not a Christian, but he was a great man, not a good man, a great man, because I came from him. I know, you know greatness when you see it.
Yes.
You don't have to tell me where he is. I know he's in heaven. My grandfather was instrumental to stopping the killing of twins in my village because he married 8 wives because they could do that, and that's okay. You don't come into somebody's custom and tradition and try to mess with it.
Right.
So, of all his wives, when they started having twins, the few that had twins, he was like, you know what? If one child is a blessing from God, which is Amadioha or Chukwu, if one child is a blessing from God, then I think that maybe 2 kids is double the blessing. Y'all, I'm not killing my kids. That's what my grandfather said. So I come from a line of trailblazers, people who say, you know what? This doesn't smell right. Let's go fix it.com kind of people. That's who I come from. I'm the first granddaughter of my grandfather, proudly so. And so when my grandfather said, in those days, the legend has it that he put his machete on the ground. And that's a dare to fight with the person who takes it, to tell him he cannot keep his children, his double blessings. So you see the kind of lineage from whence I come.
Yes.
Well, I was born a warrior. I was born a fighter. So I came and I said, you know what? My son is beautiful, smart as ever. Straight A students, 5-time spelling bee champion in the state of South Carolina. Full scholarship to Stanford. Graduated at the top of the class during the graduation last year. The man who was making the announcement kept saying, they this and they that and they this. And so I said, son, I thought you're the only one receiving the award of excellence from the College of Arts. Who are all these people? Who are they, them? An honest question from an honest observation. And my middle son said, Mom, I think it's because they're non-binary. I said, what is that? What is non-binary? What does that mean? Enter pronouns. What?
Yes.
What is this world? That's how that's happened. So I'm like, okay, so you're already Black and gay and male presenting in America. And I spell America with 3 Ks. Sue me. You're already Black and gay and male presenting in America. What is this non-binary? Because most people like I did not know that non-binary means the person does not subscribe to any gender. Sadly, when the Christians want to talk about LGBT, their one thought is anal sex or lesbian sex or whatever sex.
Mm-hmm.
They're not thinking that LGB is all sexuality. T is gender. That's a whole department on its own. So I had to learn it, so you can learn it too. And as adults, you are the one that has to learn it because your child was born the way they are. And if your child feels unsafe in your home, they're not going to come out to you. They'll come out to everybody, like my child did. Even as I was married to a woman, this is the funny thing about it. So you may be in the LGBTQ+ space, but still have on the line homophobic tendencies. Now, I was not necessarily homophobic, but I would say, why he gotta be so gay? Like on TV, I said, why is he so flashy? Why does he have to be so out there? My child was listening and realized, you know what? I don't feel safe telling my mom because I don't know how she's going to react. And so that happens a lot. Your child will go over to school and be themselves. Like my child came out as non-binary in college, has been non-binary for years, and I didn't know. Told everyone, and everyone knew. We didn't know. We were the last to know because I made statements like that. Not because I wanted to hurt him, because I've known that my child is gay forever. But I just thought it was just a bit too dramatic. Not my own child, just people on TV. I don't know, RuPaul, whatever. Like, why? And so children hear those things and would choose not to come out to you. I wouldn't say it hurt me per se, because now I understand why. And when you know better, you should do better. If I had known, I would have done better, but I didn't. But guess what? Now I know. And so now the onus is on me. It behooves me now to do better because I know. And so that's kind of how I've been going. Hold on one second. So that's kind of how I've been going with it. And so I realized that if I, who's a speaker and all of these things in the LGBTQ+ space, if I will struggle with this, then there must be other people out there, parents,
very true,
who are educated or not educated. My soon-to-be ex-wife, she likes to say educated, educated or not, who do not know. You don't know what you don't know, but once you know, you know. And so I decided, okay, since I got this my life coaching thing, let me see if I can work with parents. It also helps me that my practice, Dr. Lulu's Youth Health Center, which I had to shut down during the COVID, was, 80% of the kids that were coming to me were LGBT. And another 80% of those had been suicidal. And now I'm thinking, they're not being accepted at home. That's it. And I said, So my first podcast was suicide pages. And I was like, I'm going to just talk to people who have attempted suicide. I want to see, majority of them was like, I was not feeling accepted. Mm-hmm. And I was on antidepressants and I was still suicidal. And then once I found my tribe, or once once they got to that point where they felt accepted, I felt better. As a Black woman, I know what it's like to feel hate for being Black, for being something that I cannot help. Right. I don't want to come back into this next world Black. I said it before. I don't. It's too heavy. I didn't cause it. Yet I get judged for it every day. Somebody called the popo on my kids during the lockdown. They were walking around, they were exercising in the neighborhood. Somebody called the popo and the police followed my children home. We have lived in this house for 10 years. They went to school here. They took the bus here. And yet somebody called the police on them. If that police was feeling weird that day,
yes,
who knows?
Oh, yeah.
And so I got pissed off and I wrote a book. And when I wrote my blog went semi-viral during lockdown. And it became a book called How to Teach Your Children About Racism. Because I don't know whether I was a child or an adult. Somebody called the popo. So I was like, So imagine being Black already and then being gay. When you do not choose to be Black and people are leaning on your neck and killing you, do you imagine that somebody would choose to be Black and gay? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Enough people will say, oh, it's a choice. Bullshit. It's not a choice. Nobody would choose that. Nobody would choose to be Black if they're given a chance today. It's just not something that we want. We might tell you that we're Black and proud. That's what we're telling you. But if you had a choice, it's too much trouble.
There's a lot of responsibility being Black in America and being Black gay in America.
Thank you.
We already have a lot to deal with.
Okay.
That people just kind of take for granted, right?
Oh my God.
That they take for granted. We look at it and go, no, I can't. No, I'm not about to do that because I have to watch what I do. I have to watch what I say.
I must. I watch where I breathe. Right. I even watch where I breathe.
Right. Because
somebody
may take that the wrong way, right?
Yes. Yes.
We see what's happening today, which has been happening for years in America. People
Except that this one was caught on tape.
Yeah, yes.
And then because it was a lockdown, everybody and their mamas were home.
Yes. Now imagine, you know what I'm saying? Like when I was a kid, we didn't have all of that. So it wasn't nothing for the cops to beat us up. It wasn't nothing for, you know what I'm saying? I had one of my best friends when I was growing up, his name was Kenny. He was gay, right? I knew it ever since we were kids. We grew up together. And being Black in a Black community is hard as well. And I don't think people really understand that.
You don't understand it. And then it's actually at one point, it is self-hatred, it's self-annihilation. Because if you know, or rather not if, when you know that you're Black, you are the last person to be homophobic.
Yeah, because
you are the last person
right.
to be homophobic. It's just like when you know that you're a woman, you are the last person to be sexist because you know that you're getting 62 cents on the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
For the Hispanic women, it's 52 cents. For the Black women, it's 62 cents. For the Asian, is 92, and for the white, is 86. What?
Yeah, no. We're on the bottom of the totem pole, ain't we?
What?
Oh man, you know, it's that right there just resonates so much, you know, because I have friends all over the place, and like most people, I'm not a big religious individual, right? You know, I'm not
anymore, is what I say.
Yeah,
because I can't. You know, I think, you know, you hear people say that, but now I know that honestly, it's up to me.
Right. Yes.
Really, truly up to me. At 52 years young, I'm a queenager. If I don't want to say something, I'm not going to say it. If I want to say it, I'm going to say it. Nothing you can do. Yes, you can kill me, fine. Then I'm out of here. But guess what? Blacks are like ants. They keep coming.
Yeah.
You cannot get rid of all of us.
They trying. They've been trying for quite some time now. You know, and it's like, wow, man, you know, we as Black individuals in society, we have to do better by teaching ourselves. We have to reprogram the things that they've been teaching us our whole entire life, right? And
or didn't teach us the things that they eliminated, that they did not teach, that they removed. Because I didn't know this, but apparently the slave Bible had a lot of verses removed. The verses that will empower them were removed. Again, man-made. Again, man-made.
I don't agree.
And thankfully, God gave everybody the power to choose between right and wrong. Whether you choose or not is on you. But you know when you're doing right and when you're doing wrong.
That's very, very true.
You don't need a Bible to tell you that.
No, we don't.
That's the thing. We really don't. You don't need a Bible to tell you that. You don't need anything because you have everything you need in your noggin. However, you're only effectively using 10% of it.
Yes.
So that tells you that imagine if you were using 90%. 1. 2, that tells me that for my 10%, there's only so much that I know. And so I have to be open to learn from you, from your own 10%. Mm-hmm. That means if my child says that, Mom, I am a girl or I am a boy, I cannot tell them that they're not.
Right.
Because I don't know. I can think that I know. I can wish that I know. When a child is born, the parents already are dreaming of the white wedding, football, soccer, all of these things. What they forget is to include the child in their dream.
Now,
otherwise, how effective were your own parents getting you to do what they wanted you to do?
Oh, well, I got beat up. If my parents said, hey, I need you to go do this. Hey, moms didn't play that. She was like, hey, I'd have told you one time. Don't make me tell you again, right? So it was a lot of that in my household. You know,
that is true. I mean, in my household too, in African Americans or Hispanic, they'll get the chancla. But that is a whole different, that's generational.
Right, trauma. Yes. Yes.
And I teach a class called Parenting Without Yelling, where I tell tell myself, listen, if yelling on your child works, how many times would you need to yell?
Exactly. Exactly.
So are you raising your child because, oh, I don't play that? Or is your child raising you to be a yelling parent?
I love that right there. Because after years of being away from home and actually having to go through some things, I had to sit back and actually think about that for a minute.
That's trauma.
Yeah, that's trauma. I had to go back and actually start addressing those things as a man, because I was going, there's something not right.
Yes.
There's something that I'm not getting here, because I've failed at a bunch of relationships. I've and many of these things, right? Being confused in society, not understanding. Yeah. And it took going through something really, really tragic to make me go back to address those traumas from when I was a child. Then I realized the path that it had laid out for me. It opened up the door for me to have those difficult conversations with people, right? Because had I not walked it, see, and I tell people, see, God is funny that way. He'll put you on his path and then reveal later on down the line why he put you on the path.
Yes.
Right? And
you're supposed to just say yes, sir, and just keep moving.
Yeah.
We don't do that enough, but we're supposed to say yes, sir.
Yes.
And then just start going.
Yeah.
Ideally.
It wasn't, you couldn't ask questions, right? You wasn't supposed to question it. Then I realized those questions led me to what I do now, right? And so it was like, man, all of these things that had happened to me, I didn't really understand why. I was like, man, God, why would you do this to me?
I know.
Right? I didn't ask.
But then, his ways are not our ways. And actually, I've decided to write a book called What If God Was Non-Binary? Because I have a feeling that we have actually not done well, even though the Bible, I'm going to not even call it good book anymore. The Bible, describes God in a he, in a masculine gender. Knowing what I've known now about just masculinity and the toxicity that comes with it, I don't think, and if I was indeed created in God's image and likeness, I'm not a man.
Yes.
And God should be without gender or be intersex. Either way, God is LGBT. I mean, it's like, wow, we have to be realistic.
Right.
And it doesn't matter. I don't think it's blasphemy, because my brain is not telling me that I should look that way. I know that God has a sense of humor. And God will just chuckle like, oh my God, what did she do now? You will chuckle out of it, but not humans. Oh my God. Oh Lord.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
If God doesn't have a sense of humor, there's no way as I'm sitting down here talking to you, New Year's, I said, God, I don't want to date. I want to be celibate for a year. 8 days later, I met my wife.
Wow.
Really? God was like, LOL. That's what God said. LOL. I'm going to put this person right in front of you. So for me, my own personal relationship with God is a fun relationship. I'm not in that because that's like me and my own dad. It's fun. I'm not in that, oh my God, I'm afraid of you. No, because I haven't done anything for God to be mad at me for. So I'm not afraid. The guilty are often afraid.
There you go. Yes. The guilty are always.
I'm very happy. I'm very happy thinking that God is either intersex or non-binary. We'll find out when we get there.
With that too, and that's.
Oh, honey, I'm there already. I'm writing the book.
I'm going to be reading that book.
Everybody's going to read the book. Everybody's going to read the book because I'm going to publish the book this time next year when I'm famous. I'm writing all that small books, but when I'm more famous, I'm a produce that book, honey.
There you go. See, I'm gonna be right there with you. See, you gonna look over and Tony's gonna be sitting in the chair next to me. Like, what's up, girl? Hey, that is my goal, right? Because I'm writing a book as well, and it's about masculine grieving, and we touch on a bunch of different subjects. We touch on the toxic masculinity, how to identify it, and what to do once you identify it. It's all about giving choices to people, and giving them the tools to make better choices for the most part. And now we talked a little bit earlier about the suicide rates, and there's something that you said that really just caught my attention. 1 in every 3 LGBTQ kids commit suicide.
One in 3
1 in 3
homeless kids is LGBT.
Right. Yes. Okay.
40%, 42 actually, according to the Trevor Project for this year, 40% or 42%, so a little over 40% of the children that are LGBT in the last 12 months have seriously contemplated suicide. So that's more than 1 in 3.
Wow. So I was a little bit off, but man, that number is just astonishing because if you think about it,
if you go with the study from Gleason, from 2019, because the beauty of giving talks is I know all the numbers. Mm-hmm. So the study from Gleason from 2019 was 22 to 35% of the kids were suicidal. But 2021 numbers, which actually the study was done in 2020 and released in 42%. Of those 42%, 21 is African American, 31 is Indigenous American, 18% is Hispanics, and 18% are white. And then we have an extra 18%. 12% are white, and we have an extra 18% that we cannot account for that everybody else. That adds up to 100.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That number is.
Mm-hmm.
See, I had never thought about any of that because that had.
Well, people don't think about it. Yeah, that's my job. That's why I'm saying that I was put on this earth. That's why I'm so happy. Like anybody, all my friends, one of my best friends took me to lunch. When I told him that I was leaving medicine, he took me to lunch to pull my ears. That, what are you doing? What do you mean you're leaving medicine? And I was like, those who mind don't matter to me.
Exactly.
And those who matter won't mind that I'm living my life like it's golden. Like I'm deciding to do this, which I was put on this earth to do. You can either come along with me, or I'll see you at the top. And then he was like now he's like one of my biggest supporters. But then he was like, what do you mean you're leaving medicine? I said, if I have to explain it to you, I'm going to be wasting my time. So I'm going to move forward with my plans. And that's kind of how that cookie crumbled.
That I can understand.
Yep.
Because it was something that I learned a long time ago. And I was talking to my sister about it. I said, you have to be willing to go through the door by yourself and be misunderstood. Mm-hmm. Get through that door, learn everything that you need to come back and grab the next person. And it's just astonishing because that statement that you made, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind, right? And it's such a strong, powerful statement right there. Now, let's talk about the focus of what your nonprofit is going to be doing.
Well, it's a brand new nonprofit. Is still in my head. But I did turn in the paperwork on Tuesday of this week, Monday or Tuesday of this week. I was so excited. I turned the paperwork. I pressed publish. I printed printed it out, folded it in duplicate, put my little $25, took it to the post office, mailed it. So it's going to be called, or rather it is called Dr. Lulu's Angels Foundation. So they are my angels. And it's going to be building homes across the globe for homeless LGBTQ plus kids. Because, like I said, 1 in 3 is homeless. Why? Because their parents kicked them out. So when I say that as a parent, your role is critical, I'm not joking. Those kids are not kicked out because their parents loved them and accepted them. Those kids did not run away from home. For some of them, they didn't get kicked out, but they don't want to go back because it's toxic. Those kids do not end up on the streets where there's untold dangers of trafficking and sex and assault and drugs and death and homicide. They didn't end up on the street by choice. They had no choice. And so I cannot wait. Like, I know it's the work of God. I know God put it on my heart to build a home for them. I don't know if anybody else is doing it. I don't care if anybody else is doing it. Nobody else is called Dr. Lulu, which is a registered trademark in North America. by me of mine. No one else is called Dr. Lulu. No one else is doing the name. Was available. Dr. Lulu's Angels Foundation was available in the state of Texas. I called, I checked, it was available. I took it, and I'm going forward. And so I think everything is going to come full circle when the nonprofit is here. Right now, I'm just the happiest person, because then I can get grants and I can get, I don't know, whatever the things are, nonprofit donations. And I'm afraid, but my brother said, my brother said, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. So even as I say it, I have this oh my God.
I love it, because I see it in your face. It's like this, that feeling is amazing.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah, it takes your breath away, and it gives
that's it.
Of intense passion. And
it takes my breath away, but then I say it, then people are like,
yeah, you're like, whoa, did that just come out? Whoa.
I know. And then when I said it,
right?
one lady said, you know what? You're not going to need to build a home. I said, what do you mean? He said, people are going to donate homes to you. I'm like, I'll take it, And I was like, and I said San Antonio. Then I said, you know what? Why not global? San Antonio, Austin. Why not every city in the world where there are homeless people? Mm-hmm. Why not? And I'm not calling it a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
The shelter it's not a home. No. I'm calling it a home. The kids can come there, go to school from there, get educated from there, get loved on, get spoiled, and then I'll create other good, productive humans. My first book is called How to Raise Well-Rounded Children. And it was because I wanted parents to raise productive adults. My homes are going to produce productive adults. They're going to go to med school. They're going to be motivational speakers. They're going to be nurses, doctors, lawyers. They're going to be parents. They're going to be nonprofit owners. It's going to give birth to, it's going to be the gift that keeps on giving. The more I think about it, the more I just oh my God. Oh, Oprah, here I come.
Girl, look, I'm still writing Oprah. Oprah, yeah, I need to talk to you, girl. You got some things I need to learn.
Yeah, I sent my latest book to Oprah. And when she released her top things for Christmas, we didn't make the cut. I was like, that's okay. But I sent the book to her. So,
and that's funny. You sent it now, and it may not have come up. And I've had this happen before. I was talking with Kimberly from Black America Cares, huge organization. And so I wasn't scheduled to be on her show until next year. And so a friend of hers was talking with her. She got in contact with me. Was like, hey, I want to put the show out, next week. What are you doing tomorrow? I was like, well, my schedule's pretty open. So yeah, that's how that primarily came about, right? She went through all of these papers, and it was just that one, you're not thinking about it, right? But it was something that I knew I wanted to connect with them for the exposure, to get the word out there.
Yeah, I would love to be on her show. Is she like a podcast?
Yeah.
Oh,
she does a podcast. She does several podcasts. She's in the runnings to do a TED Talk and everything. Kimberly is wonderful. She's
yay! I just got my second TED Talk 2 days ago, so I'm excited.
I want to get on TED Talk.
I'm right now drafting the story for my third one.
Okay, wow. I have to connect with you because I want to see how can I get in to do the TED Talk.
Everything is. That's why I love me some Les Brown. It's possible.
It is possible.
That's it.
You gotta stay hungry. Gotta stay
hungry. You gotta be hungry.
Gotta be hungry, baby. Oh, look, you talking about language. You talking Les Brown, I was listening to Dr. Miles Monroe. I was,
Oh, yeah. I never listened to Miles Monroe.
Oh, my God. And,
I never did, only because I really have an aversion for, I wouldn't say for Christianity and pastors, but I know that deep down, a lot of them are homophobic. So I just avoid them. I mean, whatever message they have for me, I'll get it elsewhere.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. I got into him because of what he was speaking. It was something that he had said. And the title of the motivational I was looking at, a man's gift makes room for him.
That's powerful.
And so when I saw that, I was curious. What is that gifting, right? What is this thing that I keep hearing on? What is this thing? And so a few years ago, I tapped on it, and I just fell in love with the story, right? And the meaning behind it. I dissected, and I was like, that's what this thing is inside of me. That's my gift. So when I started listening, I started listening to several other people that talked about it, and I followed that line, right? Not to the T, but I followed my own path, but I used those basic principles. And I started to manifest myself. And as I began to manifest myself, this gift that's inside of me came out.
Yeah, I'm going to connect you to at least 4 podcasters, maybe you already know them, who I know your message, because they're all Black men and they're all in the podcasting, which means that they're all talking truth, at least, but they're talking about things that people don't need to talk about, don't want to talk about. So maybe even 5 men I'm going to connect you with, who you would definitely add to their ministry for sure. So are you on Instagram?
I am on Instagram.
If you send me a message now, if you find me on Instagram now, so I don't forget, then I'll connect you to actually 6 people. I'll connect you to Johnson. He's Black, the Black Podcasters Club. Do you know him, Blake Johnson?
I've heard the name in passing.
Yeah, Black Podcasters Club. Blake talks about mental health in Black men or in men. He has a diary. His podcast is Diary of a Mad Black Man.
Okay.
You need to be on Blake's podcast. You need to be on Hey Ryan. Hey Ryan's podcast. Ryan is British. And he actually has a big event that he's doing right now that he's going to be doing in March in the UK, which I'm going to be one of the speakers. I think I'm the only woman speaker. Everybody else is a man.
Okay.
So his name is Ryan O'Neill. Then men_to_heal or men_to_heal is on Instagram. He will interview in a hot New York minute because he talks about healing in men. He's a therapist, so you definitely need to be. And he's got like 17,000 followers. So if you want to get exposure, he's someone. Then KTTV, I was just on his show. So I don't know if you're right now, just remind me. Then, of course, The Voice, IK, you need to also be on his show. So all of this, if you send me a message right now so I don't forget, please.
Okay. I was looking, I'm actually on Instagram. I was looking, what is your Instagram handle?
At Ask Dr. Lulu.
Okay.
At Ask, the full word Dr. Lulu.
Yep, got you.
Just send me something now so I remember when I got it. You have to be on, at least connect with them.
Right. No,
whatever you want to do with yourself.
On Instagram, I say, hey, this is Tony.
Yeah, whatever y'all do with yourself. As a matter of fact, I have a group that I started for them. I still happen to be in the group, and you know what? They're all still there. They're kind of weird. I connected them already, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I don't know if they've connected outside of the group, but I was like, guys, all of y'all need to know each other.
Yes.
And I'm also I'm an includer by nature. One of my top 5 5 qualities or whatever is in being an includer. Okay. So I'm definitely one of those people that I think about everyone. I was like, oh, how can I help this person? Or who do I know that can help this person or something like that? So, but yeah, it's going to happen. So if you send me a message now, I'll find it and I'll.
Yep. I sent one, said, hey, this is Tony. So if you see that, I'm following.
Yeah, it's going to go to my request. I don't see a request yet. Yes, I see it now. Very good. Okay. Yep.
Sometimes it takes a little bit, as fast as we want the internet to go.
No, you're good. So I just said, okay, very good. So I'm going to say, hey, back to you. And then we're going to round up. It's 4:07.
Yep, I just got it. Yep, I got it. So, how can people get a hold of you? I know you said you have a website coming up as well for your.
Yeah, my website I have a bunch of websites, but I'm trying to rebrand my website as a speaker. But right now I have a website as a coach. So it's dr-lulu.com.
Okay.
Dr-lulu.com. And I don't want to say that because I don't want someone to go and steal it, because these are crazy for my speaking website. I'm telling you, woo. So, so dr-lulu.com. I also I'm on Instagram as spell out the word Dr. Lulu. And then I'm also on Facebook at Ask Dr. Lulu. And I'm on TikTok as Dr. Lulu. You can do that, or you can do Uchenna, which is my first name. And my last name is Ume, so Uchenna. I also own Dr. Lulu, believe it or not. But I couldn't remember the password, so I couldn't log back into it, so I left it.
These things happen.
Yeah, so I got Dr. Lulu. But if you type in Dr. Lulu, it's going to pull me up also on TikTok.
I saw that too. When I was pulling up, I was like, oh, there she is. So I'm following you on Facebook as well.
Yeah, thank you. And then I have an online program, an 8-week online program that I need to put out there. It's for parents who are struggling with supporting their children. However, I'm also always asking people, if you need someone to come and do like a training or a workshop at your workplace about LGBTQ plus issues, inclusion of LGBTQ plus, inclusion of women, inclusion of immigrants, inclusion of Black people. But mainly, I want to teach about LGBT plus issues, how to be an ally, how to support your child, how to understand even when you don't, how to support rather even when you don't understand, how to communicate, how to speak their language. Because one thing about love languages that people don't know is when you do the love languages thing, you're supposed to speak my language. So if your love language is gifts, for instance, there's no point giving me gifts unless my love language is also gifts. If my love language is time, I don't care how much time I want to spend with you. Your love language is gifts. So I need to give you gifts and you need to spend time with me. That's how it goes. So I want people to learn how to speak the LGBTQ plus child's language. Not necessarily love language, just how to communicate in LGBTQ plus, if there's such a thing. That's what I want people to know.
You're going to connect so many people with you. There's so many people that I know that would definitely benefit from speaking with you. Parents, children.
Send them my way. Oh my God, please send them my way. And you know what? I also I'm unapologetic about my fees. I want to go there. I mean, mainly to tell myself, after 30 years of being a physician, what I'm bringing to the table is priceless, because your child's life is at stake. And how much would you pay the day after your child dies by suicide? You will pay me all the money in the bank to bring your child back. I say that because 40% suicide attempt is a lot.
It is.
So the day after your child dies by suicide, or even attempt suicide, let's not even say they died, you will pay all your money in the bank. Mm-hmm. But I don't want that. I want you to not ever get to that point. So send me a DM on Ask Dr. Lulu on Instagram. Send me a message on my email is dr-lulu.com. Coach at dr-lulu.com. So it goes, everything is dr-Dr. Lulu. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me anyway. Just send me a DM. Let's talk today, because you know what? Your child is waiting. That's it.
Awesome. I love that. And I was going to ask you, if there was something out there that you could say to the people, and you took the words right out of my mouth, and I love that. And I just want to encourage people that are watching the show, please reach out to Dr. Lulu. We have a problem in this world, and She is an amazing, amazing person. So if your child is LGBTQ, if you are struggling with learning how to communicate with them, please reach out to her. If you love this, if you love what she was saying today, she has so much more to offer. She's putting it all out on the table. Go get the necessary help that you need. Get the support for your children and stay on the lookout for her nonprofit. She is going to be lighting the world on fire. And just to be here with her in her presence, I am truly blessed. Dr. Lulu, thank you for being on the show today. It was such a blessing and an honor. And to everyone out there, if I didn't say it before, before we do that, where's your books located? Are they on Amazon or?
Yes, thank you. Great question. Is this a video show or is it a video show?
Yes.
I usually have them laying around. Let me see that. Because I think sometimes there's nothing wrong with telling them the names, but I think also seeing them. So this is my money maker right here. This is my baby right there. Actually, it's not my baby, but it says that this is the one that I wrote last during the lockdown. How to teach your children about racism. This is my first book, How to Raise Well-Rounded Children. That's my baby son when he was that short. He's up here now at 6'2". And I always say that that's when he was 11. This is my second book. This book is the one I think most people need to get because it talks about, it's called A Teen's Life. It talks about looking at teens' lives through their struggles. It talks about 13 different teenagers and what they're struggling with and why they would decide to kill themselves. One of the kids is based loosely on my LGBTQ plus child. And the child's parents one is Nigerian and one is Ghanaian. And it's basically talking about how parents can F up their kids.
Yes.
With too much religion or too much judgment or too much machismo. You're not boy enough, you're not man enough, is the father at that point of the kid making it about him. That somehow because, your child is gay, somehow you as a father, you're not enough.
Right.
Or there's something wrong with you, or there's something wrong with them. So that's kind of how I love that. And the child's story is loosely based on my kid. And this is the newest book. It's called The Warrior Women Project. It's a book written for immigrant women.
I love that.
So we have 22 women in the book who are telling their immigrant stories.
Okay.
And it's actually, I wrote it kind of to look like Michelle Obama's, I don't know if you know Michelle Obama's book called Chasing Lights.
Yes.
So the book is like that in words and pictures. And these women you're going to cry, you're going to laugh, you're going to scream, you're going to.
I love it.
All immigrants from 13 different countries. 13.
Very nice. Very, very nice. And man, I'm definitely going to be putting your links down below. So to everyone who's watching right now, check the links down below, order her books, reach out to her.
Yes, I think I like that you said, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I think what I want to say is the holidays are around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Like I write nonfiction. I really truly believe in nonfiction. Like that's how you change the world. The fiction is good, but I'm a nonfiction writer. But you can get the bundle if you go to my website called Dr. Lulu's Books. Dr. Lulu Books, no S. drlulubooks.com. You get all of my books there. And if you want to buy all 4 books, normally all 4 of them is $100. But for the holidays, we're doing an extra 10% off. If you mention this show, or if you just whatever, you can get 10% off of the books. And they're all going to be autographed, so you know. And what I like to say to my friends, as much as I love books, I have 6 bookcases. There's my bookcase there. There's only 2 of those books in that bookcase are autographed.
Wow.
So I tell people, I said, my book is usually one of the only books in your bookcase that has an autograph on it. Because most books that we buy, we just buy them.
Right.
So to get otherwise, it's on Barnes and Nobles, it's on Target.com, it's on Walmart.com, it's on Amazon, it's everywhere great books are sold. But I promise you, you're not going to regret it if you get one of my books.
See, and I love that. I really, really love that. Dr. Lulu, I want to say thank you for being on the show today. People, please reach out to her. This woman is a wealth of knowledge. I mean, my mind is blown. I had a blast, you know.
I told you.
I'm sure you guys will too. Reach out to her. Until next time, you guys keep your head up. To those children who are struggling and the parents who are struggling to communicate with your kids, please take the time, reach out to Dr. Lulu, and let's find healthier solutions to communicate with each other, find a better understanding. And until next time, you guys keep your head up. People stop trying to fix each other. We are not machines. We don't break. We just need to be loved and communicated with. And so for another
and
episode,
we're not trees.
And as
I was going to say, and we're not trees, so we can move.
Yeah, yes, we can move.
Change your mind. You know, you can pivot, you can retire, you can leave that toxic relationship, you can leave that toxic workplace. I also coach entrepreneurs on the side. You can to prevent burnout. You can make a U-turn if possible.
Yes.
This is your life. It's worth it. You are worth it. You are enough. You're not going to leave this world alive. So why don't you live your best life already? The sooner you start, the better. Like for real. Like
there you go. No better place to start than right now, right? Than the present. So with that being said, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in. And until next time. And also don't forget, use the promo Memories of Us podcast to get 10% off of Dr. Lulu's books. And I will see you guys next time. Keep your head up, stay loved, be blessed.